Hello everybody, welcome back to Jared Opens a Box, and look at this, alright, look what I have on this table right here. This is a lot, at least it looks like a lot, and that's because it is a lot in a sense. So we have 3 of the PX Previews exclusive Marvel Funko Pops, and all of them are something different. So this one is just your normal 3.75 inch pop, or whatever they consider it. This one is my very first comic moment pop, or my first moment pop in general. I don't have any movie moments or anything, so this one, it has a very special place in my heart, I guess, because my first ever moment pop. And this is considered a Pop Deluxe. This is the Absolute Carnage one. This one I'm saving for last because I just know this one's going to look really, really good. So we have these 3. I'm super excited for these ones because they look absolutely insane just looking at them in the box. So I really want to see what these look like outside of the box. So I'm really not going to waste any more time. But again, we still have the new setup. I figured I'd mention that again. We still have the new setup. Still got that sign back there. Don't worry, it's still there. Let's just get right into this one. So I'm going to move these guys out of the way. We're going to start with Punisher War Machine. So I don't exactly know where this is from. I haven't really been keeping up on the Marvel comics for some time. I know it's blasphemous for a Marvel fan to not be keeping up on the comics, but there's so many of them, you gotta give me a break, okay? There's so many Marvel comics. But this is apparently War Machine, but I'm assuming the Punisher is controlling the suit, so he has the Punisher War Machine suit. This is, of course, one of the previews exclusives. Funko kind of makes Funko makes some really good previews exclusives. They are one of the best ones they make, and this is exactly what I'm going to show you guys in this episode. But we're just going to start with this guy. Again, I'm going to point out the artwork on the side because that's just something that I like to do now. The artwork on all of these pops is just insane. I know they go off of the artwork to actually make the pops, but the fact that they can even do this is just insane. It looks amazing. It just looks so good. So I have to give credit to all the artists there at Funko. They really know what they're doing. On the back of the box, all it has is just the Punisher War Machine logo, and the artwork again with it saying Pop. So that's all it is up there. It's also Pop number 623. So that is a lot of pops for the Marvel series. So I'm going to open this one up, and there is Punisher War Machine. So yeah, looks amazing, by the way. Does he have a stand? No, he does not. Okay, I was just making sure he didn't have a stand because it doesn't really seem like he's flimsy. No, he's really not. So if you have this pop, just be careful with it. It doesn't even have any holes, so you can't get a stand for it. It's just going to have to you got to try to balance it. It probably isn't easily balanceable when you have these 2 behemoths right next to it, so that's probably why it's falling over. But looks very, very cool. There's a lot of detail on this one. Obviously, you see the helmet here. It has the Punisher, kind of the Punisher skull in place of the mask that War Machine usually has. You see all the weapons that he has. The Punisher logo, of course, in the center of his suit here. Other than that, though, it's definitely a War Machine pop. It's pretty easily indistinguishable as War Machine rather than Iron Man. Because of all the weapons that it has on it. I will say the weapons located in the back are really flimsy, so do be careful here. I feel like if I were to just give it a tug, it'd probably come right off. I don't know if that's just my pop or not, but it's definitely really flimsy. Oh, actually, yeah, it does kind of move. I don't know, it's kind of tempting there. Same for this one, they both kind of move a lot, so if you do have this pop, just be careful because those could probably come off pretty easily. Not that it would really be that big of a deal because, I mean, you're still going to have the majority of the pop, but it would still stink because, I mean, I've lost a couple, I had a Cuphead pop and the leg popped off of it just from falling, so some of the pops can be very fragile. So, obviously, yeah, this one's just very cool looking, but we have a lot of others to get to. So there's Punisher War Machine. He's going to fall over. Let's see if I can lean him up. There we go. He can sit against his box. Let's talk about this one. So this is based off of a comic book. There's a comic cover, I believe, where Venom is leaning over Spider-Man after he's beaten him. So I think that's what this is based off of. You can see the back of it. It doesn't have any artwork, unfortunately. There is no artwork for it. This is just the pop right here, and it's just in a comic strip looking panel. So obviously it's not based off of, they don't have any artwork to base it off of. It's just using the pop design. So let's get into this one. This is going to be a bit of a bigger pop. Oh man. Alright. So there it is. There it is. Wow. Where do I even start with this one? Venom is gigantic in this one. He is definitely huge. You can definitely see they put a lot of detail into Venom. Spider-Man, of course, is laying down defeated. I think in the comic book moment originally, Spider-Man's mask was torn, so that is a bit of an inconsistency there, but really not a big deal, because the overall pop itself just looks super good. Not entirely sure what they're standing on here. It kind of just looks like some rocks, maybe. That's all I can really tell from there. At first, when I saw this, I thought it was the symbiotes, but it really does not look like the symbiote at all, because the symbiote is definitely black right here, and this is more of like a grayish color. So I think they're just standing on some sort of solid ground here. But yeah, it looks very good. You see Venom actually is reaching for Spider-Man over here with his hand, so you can definitely see that. And Spider-Man's kind of reaching out, knowing that he has been defeated by Venom in this encounter. So this looks really, really good. The Venom Pop, this is probably one of the best Venom Pops they have ever made, because it's probably the most comic accurate one they've ever made. I can't say it for the Spider-Man one, because they've made so many Spider-Man Pops, it'd be almost impossible for me to look through every single one and make a guess as to which one is the most comic accurate. But this Venom definitely, because I have almost every single Venom Pop there is to own. So I'd say this one's probably one of the most accurate that they've made. The only thing that I noticed is that they don't bobble, which definitely is interesting, because as you know, I've said on the channel that every single pop, every Marvel Pop bobbles, but unfortunately that's not the case for this. It doesn't say on the box, so technically it's not wrong, they aren't lying, but it's definitely very unfortunate to not have Marvel Pops that bobble, because that was kind of becoming my slogan on the channel, and now I can no longer say it. At least not when it comes to this pop. Other than that though, looks very cool. I'll have him sit over here. Definitely a good comic moment to start off with there. Let's move this over here. Let's talk about this one. So, there is currently a comic book going around right now called Absolute Carnage. And basically it's about Carnage. He has this completely new, terrifying look, and basically he's trying to kill all the Marvel superheroes. So that's kind of like Maximum Carnage back in the 90s. They had a whole comic book about that as well. So they're kind of doing a redo of that, but they're making Carnage a lot worse in terms of his motives and his looks. So that's kind of what this pop is based off of. You have kind of a look in the back. It just says Absolute Carnage back there. It's nothing crazy. This is pop number 673. There is no artwork on this one either. Unfortunately, I guess because it's in a bigger box, they didn't know where to put the artwork at. Let's take a look at this one. Wow. Okay. There it is. Ooh. That is amazing. So, let's talk about this one. Where do I even start? It does bobble. So, at least this one bobbles. We do have that. The body type definitely looks a lot like Carnage. It's just the face and the head that has changed, because now he has this swirling thing in the middle of his forehead. The eyes are a lot different, and just the overall head shape is a lot different. But man, it is terrifying. I don't think I'd ever want to come across this in a cemetery. And we know that's where he's at, because you see that his tendrils are surrounding gravestones here, and they actually do have names on it. The one that he's standing on does say Brock, and it has the Venom logo on it, so obviously that he's talking about Venom. Then we do have Parker on the right. That is, of course, talking about Spider-Man. This one says Rogers, of course, talking about Captain America. And there is one in the back. Oh, it's for Wolverine. It says Logan. So he has Wolverine, Venom, Captain America, and Spider-Man's gravestones surrounding him. And in the symbiote underneath him, they do have little pop skulls, which I think is a very nice addition as well. Obviously, I don't think any of these superheroes are actually dead in that comic book. I think they just did this to kind of make it seem more, just to kind of make it seem more dramatic. Obviously, I don't think any of these guys have actually been killed in that comic book. I just think they wanted to put those little Easter eggs on there. But overall, this is really, really good. This might be probably in one of my top 10 favorite pops because it honestly has so much detail. It is insane. The only thing I will say is that Carnage, the bobblehead, yeah, the bobblehead is definitely a little loose, probably just because of the position that he's in. So if you go like this, you can definitely see that it's definitely loose. So do be careful with that. Seems to be an issue with the previews pops for some reason, having a lot of things loose, but just don't tug on his head. You can bobble it, obviously, just don't go tugging on it, or else he might lose his head, and that would not be a cool looking Funko Pop if he lost his head. But there we go. There's that one, and there's that one. Well, alright. There's that one. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.